Hey everybody, today we're going over 5 hilariously broken speedruns. Without further ado, let's begin! The first one on the list is Super Pitfall. Super Pitfall was a game that was designed in 1986 for the Famicom and PC. Activision ported it to the Nintendo Entertainment System in 1987. The port to the NES didn't go over too well, just based on how many problems this game has. So the first problem that we're going to talk about is one of the biggest problems with the game, especially for someone who's going to play it casually. There are items in the game that you need to complete the game, just like any other adventure game. But in Super Pitfall, they don't show the items. You have to jump around in random places, and you will find them. I don't know if this was an intended mechanic, but it did not go over very well. Second is probably the biggest problem with the game. If there's a moving object on the screen, hit detection will randomly fail. This leads to weird things like, if you're on a screen with a moving object, you can be on a ladder and then you just fall down to the bottom. This glitch in the game is also used for a clip. There's multiple spots in the game where you can just hold run against the wall, and then you'll clip through the wall and be able to skip massive portions of it. This leads to many skips in a speedrun that's already pretty short. Regardless of whether or not you're into speedrunning, I still recommend watching this game because the speedruns of this game are hilarious because of how broken the game is. The world record for Super Pitfall is 4 minutes and 59 seconds by Whiteman Price.
Get that key to save your lion. It's a lion, I swear. We're just gonna go ahead and balloon through this wall because what are walls? So, yet again, I'm going to skip a vast majority of the game by just pushing this wall till it submits. But anyway, back to objectives. You need to save Quick Claw the lion, your friendly mascot. You need to collect the Raj diamond, which was by the elevator. You need to get the medicine to... Are you kidding me?
That is so fast, dude.
How are you?
Hope you're recording.
Yeah.
I watched them take like minutes to get that.
Yeah.
So, the in-game goal, so to speak, is you need to get the medicine to help your niece, who was captured by demons, question mark, and has been turned to stone.
You know.
So, that's basically where I'm going and attempting to get right now. So this bird is an enemy, except for this one, who you...
Next is Dragon Ball Z Sagas, specifically the any % co-op run. The game was created by Avalanche Software. Avalanche Software is known to create extremely poorly made and glitchy games, so you know what that means. That always creates for a great and very broken speedrun. The game is broken due to 2 major things. First is an infinite combo that can be executed by pressing the Y button 3 times and the B button 3 times. Sounds pretty difficult, right? This infinite combo works on every enemy in the game, even the bosses. By continuously pressing Y 3 times and B 3 times, you will be able to keep the enemy locked in the loop, and you will be able to beat the enemy no matter what level you are. This means that the game can be easily finished without unlocking any abilities or leveling up at all. The second is a glitch that's even more broken. In co-op mode, there's a glitch that you can get a player out of bounds in almost every level. This technique requires the players to be playing one large character and one small character. The larger the difference in size, the easier it is to perform the glitch. So let's get to performing the glitch. First, you must have the player that's playing as a small character go against the wall and hold the direction he wants to go out of bounds in. So, if a wall is on your right, you want to hold to the right and act like you're running to the right. Next, you have the big character run into the other character right behind them. Then the other character will be clipped out of bounds. Once the small character is out of bounds, if he runs in the right direction, a lot of the time he'll be able to pull the big character out of bounds, or the game will simply teleport the big character out of bounds because it's just really broken. Having this many clips in a run can make it very technical. While most clips in this game aren't very difficult to do, there are a couple clips that can be run killers. For example, on the last level that's not a boss fight, you must have the small character go up on a hill and the big character fly them out of bounds. This can be really tricky if you don't find the right spot. With having so many out of bound clips and glitches that need to be performed, it creates a really technical speed game that's really fun to both watch and play. Me and my friend EasyScape are the only runners for this category, so feel free to ask us any questions about the game if you want to get into it. The current world record for Dragon Ball Z Saga's any % co-op is 52 minutes and 50 seconds. Up next is Batman Forever. Batman Forever was a Super Nintendo game that came out in the year 1994. The goal of the game is to run from one end of the hallway to the other and defeat all the enemies. And based on what you're seeing right now, you may be thinking that this game does not look very broken, they're just running through a hallway and hitting enemies. But that is not the case. The control schemes for this game are awful. Batman Forever is kind of like a platformer adventure game mixed with Street Fighter controls. Doing simple actions in this game, such as rolling forward or pulling out a flashlight, are very difficult. Often to do simple actions like this, you have to press 4 different buttons, and you have to make sure you don't move the joystick at all, just like in Street Fighter. There are also some other major design flaws in this game. For example, if you want to advance, sometimes you have to grappling hook up to move on to the next level. But sometimes the game does not tell you where you need to grappling hook up, or it's very deceiving on where it is. This made many casuals quit the game very early on. There are no runs posted on speedrun.com, but out of what I found, I believe the solo world record is 40 minutes and 14 seconds by the Super SNES. Here's some rumors at Games Done Quick showcasing the major problems with the controls.
It's the controls. This game controls unbelievably terribly. It uses, like I said, the Mortal Kombat 2 engine, which means all your face buttons are dedicated to attacks. Your 2 top buttons are your 2 punches, your 2 bottom buttons are your kicks, which means you have no buttons for jumping or any other motions. Jumping is up, just like you would have in a fighting game. And because this is on a Mortal Kombat engine, to do any kind of special move motions, which there are a boatload of in this game, you have to input the motion and then go completely back to neutral on the D-pad, touching literally nothing, and then hit your button. If you are holding an input, you get nothing, except not what you wanted.
So Batman's gadgets are something like toward down A, and Robin meanwhile has hold R, toward back. I got blocked
Yeah,
twice.
get shown.
Hold R, toward back A.
Yeah, basically fatality inputs from old Mortal Kombat games to do the most basic of things.
That flashlight was hold R, back toward X.
Next is Escape from Atlantis. Escape from Atlantis is an NES game that is very poorly made because of the fact that the hitboxes don't work and the movement is very glitchy. There's also some other problems with the game. For example, each level has certain goals and things you have to do in the game, but the game does not give you any sort of direction to do them. You just get sent to the level, and then you try to complete the goal, and a lot of the times you end up dying, and then you get sent back to a separate level that you have to run through over and over again, trying to find out what to do. Even from a speedrunning point of view, when you played the game before and know exactly what's coming up in all the levels, the hitboxes are so wonky, and the movement is so glitchy, that it makes for a very funny speedrun. The last, but definitely not least game on the list is Dog's Life. Dog's Life is a 3D platformer game similar to Super Mario 64, which is the most well-known speedrun. Both Dog's Life and Super Mario 64 are very similar games. In Super Mario 64, you have to collect 70 stars to get to the final level, where in Dog's Life, you have to collect 90 bones to get to the final level. But spoiler, in both games you don't actually have to collect anything to get to the final boss. Just like in Super Mario 64, there are skips that let you go through each world without collecting any stars/bones. In reality though, the reason that Dog's Life is on this list is not fully because of the actual gameplay itself. The game is hilarious. There are a few things that make this game so funny. First is that the game is rated 3+, and the plot of the game is an old lady that is trying to grind up dogs and make cat food and feed them to cats. The phrases and the voice acting in this game for every character is pretty funny as well. They say some pretty weird stuff.
The card of the game for the camera, just so you guys can keep this little symbol in the corner in mind. It says 3+ there. I hope you see it. Keep it in mind for the whole duration, okay? Got it.
My coat! Super! I guess those boys decided not to use it for their snowman after all. Could you turn around while I put it on? Mom taught me never to get dressed in front of strangers.
3+.
3+.
The eyes.
And it's on.
Nice and toasty. Thank you so much.
They just didn't want to animate up putting it on.
Yes.
Yeah. It was cheaper to pay the voice actor than the programmer.
Color not-
Thought
you'd outwit Miss Peaches, didn't you, you disgusting creatures?
3+ again.
3+.
Be transformed into nice, gooey food for my precious kitty cats. Get your doggy asses into the big machine.
Food. I had beans and cabbages for supper. Take this, cat lady.
Still gets better.
Still gets better.
It's that kind of game.
They've twigged it.
She fell through the glass, by the way.
Miss Peaches. Cat food.
There aren't very many active runners for Dog's Life, but the world record holder is Ricky, holding a record of 12 minutes and 43 seconds to finish the game. Alright, well that's it for today's video, and if you got this far in the video, I'm pretty sure that means you liked it, so please like, comment, and subscribe, and please let me know if you want to see more videos like this. Have a great day!